Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme, a financial fraud of historic proportions. Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme is one of the most infamous financial scandals in history, representing both the allure and the peril of unchecked greed and trust misplaced in authority. At its peak, Madoff's fraudulent operation defrauded thousands of investors of nearly $65 billion, making it the largest Ponzi scheme ever exposed. Who was Bernie Madoff? Bernard L. Madoff was a prominent Wall Street financier and the founder of Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities LLC, established in 1960. Known as a pioneer of electronic trading and a former chairman of the Nasdaq Stock Exchange, Madoff cultivated an image of success, integrity, and financial acumen. His impressive credentials and connections enabled him to attract a loyal following of individual and institutional investors, including charities, celebrities, and international banks. How the scheme worked. At its core, a Ponzi scheme operates by using new investors' funds to pay returns to earlier investors, creating the illusion of profitability and stability. Madoff's scheme was no exception, but it stood out for its extraordinary scale and longevity. Madoff's Ponzi scheme was built on the allure of consistent, high returns. He promised clients steady profits through a purported, split-strike conversion strategy, an investment approach that seemed sophisticated and low risk. This strategy claimed to deliver gains regardless of market conditions, appealing to those seeking financial stability. However, no actual trading ever occurred. Instead, Madoff fabricated investors' statements, creating the illusion of successful trades and profits to maintain trust and attract more capital. A key aspect of Madoff's success was the sense of exclusivity he cultivated. Investors believed they were part of an elite group, gaining access to a secretive and highly profitable investment opportunity. This perception of exclusivity, combined with Madoff's impeccable reputation and extensive personal connections, fostered deep loyalty among his clients. Many were so enamored by his persona and track record that they rarely questioned the legitimacy of his operations. Despite operating his fraudulent scheme for decades, Madoff successfully avoided regulatory detection. Financial regulators, including the SEC, failed to act on numerous red flags and warnings raised over the years. Investigations after his arrest revealed systemic weaknesses in oversight and enforcement, exposing how critical lapses in vigilance allowed the largest Ponzi scheme in history to persist unchecked. The unraveling. The 2008 financial crisis became Madoff's undoing. As markets plummeted, panicked investors sought to withdraw their funds, exposing the fragile nature of his scheme. With no legitimate investments backing the payouts and the influx of new money drying up, Madoff was unable to meet redemption requests, leading to the collapse of his operation. Facing mounting pressure, Madoff confessed to his sons, who, in a shocking turn of events, reported him to authorities. On December 11, 2008, Madoff was arrested, marking the beginning of one of the largest financial fraud investigations in history. As authorities delved deeper, the scale of his fraud, which amounted to billions of dollars and affected thousands of investors, began to surface, leaving countless lives devastated. Impact on victims. The fallout was devastating. Thousands of individuals, charities, and institutions were financially ruined. Many retirees lost their life savings, while organizations that depended on Madoff's fictitious returns for funding were forced to shut down. The ripple effects were felt globally, tarnishing trust in financial markets and institutions. The legal consequences. In 2009, Madoff pleaded guilty to 11 federal felonies, including securities fraud, wire fraud, and money laundering. He was sentenced to 150 years in prison, effectively a life sentence. Efforts to recover assets for victims have been ongoing, with Irving Picard, the court-appointed trustee, recovering billions of dollars from third parties who profited from Madoff's scheme. Legacy and lessons. Madoff's Ponzi scheme stands as a powerful cautionary tale of financial hubris and systemic failure, offering critical lessons for investors and regulators alike. It highlights the importance of due diligence, emphasizing that investors must thoroughly scrutinize investment opportunities, regardless of the reputation or status of those promoting them. The scandal also revealed glaring weaknesses in regulatory oversight, underscoring the urgent need for stronger regulatory frameworks and more effective enforcement mechanisms. Furthermore, it reinforced the value of transparency, urging financial institutions and advisors to prioritize openness in their operations to build and maintain trust with their clients. Conclusion. Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme shattered lives and undermined confidence in the financial system. While the man behind the fraud died in prison in 2021, His legacy endures as a stark reminder of the consequences of greed and the importance of vigilance in protecting against financial deception.